Hey, our favorite show is on right now. The segment is, how you doing, Sam?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Just living the dream.
Speaking of sizzle.
Yep.
Yeah. Who's gonna?
So
who's
Sam
gonna-
is Stump My Nephew. Sam is my nephew. And Sam the gunman. And every week somebody writes in and sends us a little bit of gun trivia. And if we use your question, you get a hat or a T-shirt, whatever you like. If you stump my nephew, then you get a front site membership. So without further ado, Melissa.
Hi, Sam.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm handling it.
That's good. So, Leeanne in San Diego, Texas.
I think it's just.
Are you all trying to mess me up?
It's
San
an actual
Diego,
city. I had to
Texas?
look it up.
No,
it's
it's
next
an
to
actual
Corpus
city.
Christi.
For real?
Yeah.
San Diego, Texas.
Okay, I thought you guys are just trying to make
Well,
me look
everybody's
dumb.
leaving
Listen.
San Diego, so they had to make a city so they'd be comfortable.
We're
Okay.
professional radio people. We don't just make things up.
Yeah, that's
I
exactly right.
don't believe that one bit.
He
So,
does.
anyways,
Certainly don't admit it.
so Leeanne in San Diego, Texas.
Texas.
Her question is: Glock has an unsupported chamber. What is that, and why?
Thanks very much for writing in, Leanne. Now, this is a really technical question, which are some of my favorites. In the design of firearms broadly, and specifically self-loading handguns, you sometimes have what's called an unsupported chamber, which means basically that part of the back of the cartridge is not fully contained within the walls of the chamber and the breech face. Usually in a pistol, it's because the feed ramp is there. And so if you're using particularly high-pressure ammunition with a pistol that hasn't been quite designed to handle that pressure and has a partially unsupported chamber, then you can sometimes run into issues. Usually this isn't a problem, but sometimes with extra hot loads it can be. Like some people might remember the Glock nade meme, which comes from early 40 caliber Glocks that were essentially just 9mm models converted to 40, and that higher pressure cartridge in an unsupported chamber could sometimes lead to kabooms.
You know, that's close, but she actually says that an unsupported chamber is a chamber whose baby daddy doesn't pay his support every month. So I apologize. You didn't get it right. I'm just kidding. Perfect. Awesome job.
To your, I'll defer to your knowledge.
So basically, the cartridge doesn't quite fit tightly in the chamber, right? Is that kind of the gist of it?
Yeah, that's the gist of it.
And what does that do? What does that? With the Glock, it makes it more reliable, right?
No, not necessarily. Unlike most, almost every design feature of the Glock, it's essentially something like it makes the action technically weaker, but it normally isn't a big problem because most handgun cartridges don't really operate at very high pressures. If you didn't have a fully supported chamber in something like a 30-06, then yeah, that would be a huge problem. But the lack of a fully supported chamber doesn't really become an issue in handguns until you start moving into high-pressure cartridges, really high-pressure handgun cartridges, especially like plus P, and certain hand loads that are well beyond the SAMI or CIP spec.
But they make it unsupported because is it to help with extraction or what?
Now, I don't know exactly why they do it. I'm sure there's a good reason because engineers don't do something unless there's a reason for it. Whether it's a good reason or not, of course, I can't say. But
Seems to work.
It might have something to do with part clearances, and it might have something to do with wanting to prevent an overly tight clearance from causing issues when the gun is fouled. But again, I really can't say for sure. You'd have to talk to someone who actually designed a pistol for them to be able to tell you that.
All right, my friend. How do you know this? Where did this come up in your daily
ask
life?
him that every single
I
week.
just don't understand. I mean, he's like, you know.
You just pick it up here and there.
Just pick it up.
By the way, before all the 1911 shooters out there begin criticizing Glocks for having partially unsupported chambers. Your 1911 doesn't have a fully supported chamber either. So,
Whoa.
Burn.
Got him.
If I had an air horn sound effect on me.
running
In your face,
Uncle Joe's
1911.
plus P plus plus super hot deer grenade loads or whatever.
Cool.
All right, my friend.
You're the best.
Excellent job, Sam.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, and thanks for having me on, as always.
We love having you on. You're the best.
Thanks for watching our Magnum show, where we dig into gun owners topics a little more in depth. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.